My cat is in my recording spot today. I may have to wait a few more minutes to start this recording. Hold on. So I've got some outside noise here, and I'm hoping that it doesn't distract you. Today I want to root around in, oh, it all of a sudden got windy. I want to root around in the theme of consistency and how that affects us, like the conditioned sense of consistency, and how that affects projectors in business. So I'm going to try not to get too distracted by the breeze that all of a sudden decided it wanted to come and participate in this video with us. Consistency, that's a big topic it's been a big topic for me, and it's a big topic for people that I work with. Not only projectors, but a lot of generators struggle with consistency in their business because of the way that homogenized business wants us to do things consistently. And one of the things that I've broken through to, one of the, I guess, so-called breakthroughs that I've had with my own relationship with consistency as a 3-5 projector with an undefined G center and a defined spleen, a splenic authority. You know, there's not a lot of consistency there for me, like hardwired within me. I change direction a lot. I can be very spontaneous at times, and sometimes I can get way off track when it comes to business. But one of the breakthroughs I've made is to understand and to really listen to my own rhythm, and to bring that into harmony with my top priorities for each day. And I think that's the key thing, at least for me. And I'd love to know how you navigate this theme of consistency in your business or even in your life. But at least for me, I know on a soul level, when I look into my Akashic records, I know that I come from a soul group that thrives on not consistency but on variety. And, and that's echoed through with my line 3 in my profile and undefined G center and all of those things in my design. But when it comes to like making a change, when it comes to up-leveling my business at a soul level, I really need to be consistent at one single thing and do it over and over again, even if I don't get results in the beginning. And then when I recognize that, when I learned that about myself, and I began to look at the inconsistencies or the way that I do consistency or inconsistency in my business, it became clear that the consistency, my consistent practices really need to come through my systems. Really need to come through the automation of my systems, or through the allies that I have who are helping me in my business, who have a certain type of hardwiring for a certain type of consistency. And when I realized that, it really helped me to ground a whole lot. It helped me to understand that priority number 1 in my business is to make sure that I truly understand what the steps are, what steps really feel good when I bring a client into my business, or what steps really feel good when I do videos like this. And then to not get weighed down in the creation of the system, but to look at the smallest doable increments. And I know if you've been looking at some of our projector conversations that I've been having with Christy and Doc, you are probably familiar with this concept of smallest doable increments. So whatever I need to do for myself, with my own energy, I do it in the smallest doable increments by setting out a priority for what it is that I want to accomplish. What's the minimum requirement here in this day? If I don't get anything else done, what is that minimum requirement that's going to move me toward another step toward my overall vision for what I'm creating? And from there, if I have the energy, and if I've really, a lot of times, I'm just spending time resting, gathering my energy, because the only motor I have is a defined root. So the root pulse the root energy has to kind of build and pulse. So when that energy is there, I do the little spurt of work. And sometimes the spurt lasts a couple of days. If I really feel into my rhythm and I do the smallest doable increments in spurts, one spurt added to another spurt of really focused intention that is grounded through action, moves my business along according to my overall vision. But I may do those spurts of work in all kinds of different locations. That's one of the things I've noticed with my undefined G and consistency and inconsistency. Sometimes I try to leave enough room in my schedule so that I can move my laptop wherever I need to. Like a couple of weeks ago, I was sitting at my desk and really noticed how low on energy I was, and I had a deadline that I needed to meet, and there were just a few little things that I had to do, and my body was telling me, get up, pack up your laptop and go downtown, because they have internet access, public internet access down there. So that's what I did for about an hour. My laptop was fully charged. I'm like a minute from downtown. I got in the car. I sat out in a cafe setting. I got those 2 or 3 things done, and I felt so good by the time I was done. And then I could enjoy the rest of my afternoon. So that's how I work with my own rhythm of consistency and inconsistency, by really listening to my body. Let me see if I have any notes here. By identifying my one thing, or my one things, my 1 or 2 things. Usually I allow myself like 3 priorities for the day. And sometimes they're not all business. And if I don't get them done, I don't get them done. I don't beat myself up about trying to stick to a schedule. My schedule is for my meetings with my clients. Everything else is flexible. And if I really feel like I need a little extra support, I go and get that support energetically. And one of the things I do is I'll do spurts of work on an app called FocusMate with other people, where we're working for 50 minutes at a time. If I need that, I do that. But otherwise, I find that the inconsistency, like not really being able to have, or not feeling like I have the energy to accomplish what's mine to do in my business, I feel like that is amplified when I'm not really taking good care of myself, when I'm overworking myself, when I don't stop when I need to stop, and when I don't disconnect from the internet, from electronics, from the day-to-day priorities of my business from time to time, and give myself, like, change my priorities at times to really intentionally not focus on work, and to break the bond with that line 3 in my profile, to intentionally break the bond with my business, in times when I really need to take a break. And a lot of times I find for me, and I just noticed this with my undefined G center, that the bond, that the time when I need to break the bond is usually on the weekends, like when the rest of the world around me is breaking their bond or taking their rest. And I think that has to do with my undefined G. But like sometimes on a quiet Sunday afternoon, I can crank out a lot of work so that I can take a break in the middle of the week. You know, I can crank out a lot of things that I content and blog posts and following up with emails on a quiet Sunday afternoon in 2 or 3 hours, where during the week I might not be able to do that. I might not have the energy. So for me, it's very flexible. I'd love to know how you deal with inconsistency in your way of getting things accomplished so that your business moves along. What is your rhythm? How do you see that fitting in with your design, whether it's your profile or your energy centers or even your type as a projector? If you're another energy type, I'd love to know as well. Consistency, this idea of consistency is so homogenized, and we often get our energy caught up in things, and this is true of projectors but also of other energy types, caught up in things that we think we need to do, when if we took a step back and really felt into our bodies and waited, either those things get done, or you know, somebody else steps in and makes that contact for you, or it becomes irrelevant, and they don't need to be done. So I'm going to leave it at that with this little nugget, and the next time I get the energy built up to do a projector, my 3-5 projector business vlog, I'll talk about another topic. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey.